So, you know, at that age especially, you know, boys and girls, it's like you get that massive change. You know, and you know, the hair starts sprouting, and you know, we start leaking, and you know, all these things happen, and you know, we're pretty savage at that age. But I think it's a good age as well, whereby if you do take the good, you know, like you think, well, I'm going to study to play the piano at this point, and you make use of it, and you're this spotty, you know, acneed, bespectacled kid, and you're channeling that energy into something, and this is when your brain's just sucking everything like a sponge. Maybe not as much as when you're very, very young, but still, you know, at a phenomenal rate, and you become good at stuff. And that's why I say, you know, big up the nerds always. And it's good to learn. And I've got some friends on Facebook, and I met them in real life as well, you know. And I'm just like, when are you going to start doing stuff? They live behind this image. And I know I talk about this a lot because it pains me as well. But I miss the tough love naturally. And I keep saying, it's like, grow the fuck up. You're not watching this, but I'm just expressing myself to the people who are stuck around. It's like, I get it. I get more annoyed by the pretty people especially because they just use that pretty thing all the time. And I want to say to them, pretty doesn't last forever. It doesn't matter. You know, whether it goes away at 60 or whatever, and if you're content with that, you're content. But what happens is living behind that while everyone else, because we're savages, you know, we want to kind of do well for ourselves. People talk about this backstabbing and people being traitors and breaking up friendship. That's life. Everyone's moving towards what they want to move towards. And while we're all together as a group, as young people, we're all like, oh yeah, you know, what can we do together as a group? And, you know, you're looking to see how you can step on the next person and so on. Now, I'm aware of this because I noticed it. And I took part in that sometimes, but I believe very, very little. Because as I explained earlier, I was reading psychology and philosophy at 12 years old, and it kept on telling me to be a better person, to be a better person. And by the time I was 15, 16, I just felt I wasn't part of the savage set. But I was aware that I was able to do it, which is what I'm talking about now. If you feel that animal instinct sometimes, you know, act on it. And, you know, those people, they hold on to that. So it's like the pretty girl or the muscly boy, and it's like, yeah, well, you're 18, it's cool, everyone's around you, your friends haven't quite matured yet, so they all want to be like you. They want to be like Danny, they want to be like you know, like Sarah, and they look up to them. But all the time those kids are not getting the attention. They're at home, you know, they're writing, they're reading, they're studying, they're learning the piano. Not all of them, some of them, this is an example. And the pretty people are still being pretty, and they're still getting the attention. Now you're 21 years old and they're still getting attention. It's like, wow, but you're even better on piano, reading, writing, learning. And then you're 28 years old, and then suddenly all this stuff comes, and I thought you were my friends. And who are they from? They're from the pretty people, because the pretty people now they're not getting attention. Everyone's grown up, and everyone's realising, hey, it isn't all about who's got the biggest muscles and who's the prettiest anymore. In fact, I'm getting respect. Rather than people calling me a nerd who sat at home, who's studying physics and learning to play the piano, people are saying, wow, I wish I could play the piano. And you're not basing everything on envy. You're not grateful that no one else can, and wow, yeah, I can play the piano and you can't, but you're realising the value of the effort that you put in to become the person you are. And the pretty people are still shallow and being pretty. My thickest friends are good looking. It's that simple, you know. And they, at a dangerous age, some of my young friends now, where they're 25, 26, 27 years old, and they're basing their whole life around being pretty and getting likes for being pretty on Facebook. There's pictures on Facebook of some of my female friends, and fight me if you want to afterwards, but do listen carefully to what I'm going to say, because it's a breast picture, it's nothing else. I'm not talking about women not being allowed to wear low-cut tops or nothing, but I'm talking about the planned picture. You've had all day to get this picture right, you've taken 50 shots, and that top's pulled right down like that, and you're looking seductively at the camera, and you're like, do you like my new earrings? Get out of it. And then you've got the guys, and they're like, sort of, something in the background, and it's like, yeah, these are the new light switches I put up. And it's a muscle shot, and it's like, this is a bicep photo. And those people, very slowly, now you're 30 years old, you've got a partner, you've got a job, a good job, and you're getting paid well, you learnt to play the piano, you learnt physics, you learnt maths, you went to university. While Thicky, yeah, I'm being hard, they're still stuck in the looking pretty thing. But now it's like 30, 31, 32, no one gives a fuck. And what you find is if they do, they're shallow, like you, and and you're just around shallow people doing shallow things in shallow clubs and shallow pubs and shallow groups and so on. So I say you're playing it very close, some of these people, and I say go get a skill. It's really important. It doesn't have to be there's no embarrassment working for somebody. Get a skill, get good at something. Don't be posting pictures of controversial stuff so you get the likes. This starts happening. I've seen it with lots of people I've known for 10 years or so, since they were 19 years old, the pretty people. They're now starting to post controversial pictures because their friends are growing up and they're moving away from them. Anyway, that was a bit of a rant. It comes naturally to me. Stay tuned.